Oh,
Yeah!
right.
Money.
Listen, what we're gonna do then, right? I need you guys to open up.
PNT lead of shift 1. Yeah, I gotta talk to the PNT lead.
We head into records, or you want to go cross street?
Yeah, we can do records.
All right. You gonna get tired?
I'm already tired, to be honest.
All
right. Yeah, so I know we just kind of briefly talked about the pause yesterday. As obviously we said 30 days for the transfers, but do keep in mind that it's consider it like an evolving thing. So like as the days go on, if we need a reason to change some of it, make exceptions, like that's still on the table. But I am thinking that keeping it blanket statement is probably easier because the moment there is a reference to exceptions or whatever, that's probably going to be more of a headache, right?
I'll be honest, thinking about it more, I thought I actually spoke to you about this. I was planning on doing something very similar anyways. Prevent some sort of implosion.
That's good.
So yeah, I'm more or less, if things are going smooth over there, sure, open them up in 2-3 weeks or something along those lines.
Yeah, it's
rocky, leave it for the full 30 days.
Yeah, getting ahead of this is good. It was really, I would argue, based on what I witnessed, the open transfers, people make mistakes, but one of the biggest mistakes that was made when Moss was put into place early on is they took the position of open transfers. If people want to leave, they can leave. But all that did was create an atmosphere where people were holding their jobs, what they were working on at the time, over their head. So it became 90% of the time was an administrative nightmare. And it took almost an entire term for even some semblance of command to start to take form. Because they would put someone in command and then it'd be like 3 weeks later, it'd be like, well, I'm going too because I'm mad. And it was, no bueno. And quite frankly, I just don't want to see, I don't want Princess and whomever is the sheriff to have to deal with that, temper tantrum bullshit.
Right. Yeah.
So,
all right. Circumnavigated a lot of it. So.
Oh, yeah. If there are, say, key transfers that, in your opinion, have a legitimate reason that goes beyond like QQ, wah, maybe we could talk about that on a point by point basis.
I'll be honest, I'd rather keep it a full yes or no.
Even better. Even better. I was throwing that out there just in case. But yeah, I love it.
They can wait if they want to or need to.
Yeah. Easy.
Do we have any inkling as to who we're
I'm
looking
sorry?
at? Do we have any inkling as to who we're looking at?
I think it's going to be Peters.
Okay.
So I'll be as open as I can about this. Is Pred was interviewed. They had a collage of individuals on that panel. So there was Pred, there was Peters, there was Ruby, there was Ruby York
on the panel.
No, oh sorry, who for sheriff? Like they interviewed.
I see. Okay, all right.
There was Cassidy. There was Aspen. Aspen's went really bad. Apparently, apparently she was on some exit interview energy. Duncan Fenwell, McNulty. Transparently, even as I'm listing it out, like it was kind of a cooked set of individuals. What I mean by that is these are all everyone. What I'm trying to say is I'm actually surprised more BCSO didn't interview for the position. Because rather frankly, holy fuck. Wait, as I think about that list, it's almost like they put Aspen there and put all their eggs in one basket because every other name I gave is LSPD. Yeah. So
Duncan
and I will tell you that based on what McNulty's I think so they probably want McNulty more than the rest, but McNulty extremely doubtful that he would have been like their front runner, you know what I mean? I think he went there because he genuinely wants it. right?
Right. Wait, what do you mean by front runner?
Well, what I mean by that is historically the way that, let's just say the, and when I say front runner, I mean, like historically there'll be like 1, 2, or 3 people that put their name forward that represents like the majority of those folks. So as I list this name out, I'm surprised like Ventura didn't go up. I'm surprised that I would have expected more of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hey, Peters, how you doing?
Hi, what's going?
Peters?
Yeah. And then I slapped her ass and I said, you know what? Where do you want it? And she's like, wherever. And it was a pretty good time. Yeah. So how things going? Oh, I am actually tired, mind you, so excuse my very slow processing in my brain. Myself and Princess have discussed pushing a bill forward that is going to put the fines coming in from arrests into the county account. I'm going to give you the historic reason why, and I do want to hear your opinion back. It doesn't have to be now, but it could be in the next like day or so or whatever. Give you some time to kind of mull about it. The way that our financial system in the city worked when the Constitution came out was that when someone was arrested, 25% went into the county budgets, depending on where you were processed, and DOJ got 75%. Due to a series of things that happened, I sort of had a conversation with Soze and some other folks, and I was like, you know, PD should be able to manage their own budget. When they're sued, it comes out of that budget. They become like sort of like self-administers of their decision making. In other words, that budget kind of kept PD accountable, right? Like if you had like $2 million, but someone sued you for $1 million, that hit. Like that really hurt. Right. And as a consequence of that, there might be like pressure to do well by the public or whatever. And that was kind of the general idea. But then there was, you know, more to it as well, which is, you know, PD being able to sort of manage their own budget by like the full picture was that you would have sliders based on the ranks that you got, right? As I understand it, you got like rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or some shit like that, referencing like cadets, PPOs, etc. Is that you could like pay people based on their rank or based on their certifications, right? Like imagine a bunch of sliders that let you do that. Obviously, all we got was the budget at the end of it. As Princess and I kind of spoke about this, and from a grander perspective, and this is less about how you've been doing with it, because quite frankly, I don't think we've had issues, but the issue that she's seeing, and with our intention to have a system where if I'm not there, Princess isn't there, you're not there, whoever the future sheriff isn't there, and we have bad actors in place, how do things remain self-accountable? And where we're landing on and what we're going to be pushing forward, unless we get like really a lot of pushback from you, for example, is we want the money coming back into the county account, and that the means by which the PD gets budget is that you come to us and you say, hey, similar to how businesses do it today, is you come to us and you say, we need this money for these things. And we say approve or deny. But in addition to this, the county is going to take on responsibility for all civil suits against our respective police departments. So similar to these civil suits that have popped up, the one that Maxwell went to alongside Doc recently. You would not be directly liable for the money. We would send a DA to either come up with a conclusion as to what that money payout's going to look like. Like either we're going to come to a like a settlement, or it's going to go to court. We're going to handle that aspect. And if it's bad enough, that would lead to a discussion, right?
But what is this solving exactly?
What this solves is, I want you to think about it this way, right? Is when you look at it from like a how does the money move today? Today, people pay tax money. That tax money pays the police department. But when someone is arrested and processed, the PD's getting the money and the recuperation is not going back to the county. Now, for us, it's not that big of a deal, but for Blaine County, it is, because Blaine County effectively spends 70% of their budget paying the sheriff's office, who then double dips with the arrest to get more money, and their budget goes to zero. Simultaneously, and once again, you and I don't have this issue because I think, quite frankly, we don't have this issue. But the issue is in Blaine County, where effectively, what it solves is the PD has to fiscally be conjoined with the mayor's office and not be able to function independently. So let me get correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm. Essentially, instead of PD getting a cut, it just goes straight to the county now, the perspective,
yes,
or whichever county. So if there's an arrest made in Blaine County, it goes straight into their account. Now, does any money go to the PD accounts at all?
Yeah, you request it.
That's what I mean. So ultimately, it wouldn't be automated, is what I'm asking. It's like
it would not be automated. It would be PD would budget, right? So you would say like, hey, we want this amount sitting in for this, and we need this amount of this thing, and then we would budget it out.
I'll be honest. I like the current system in place because every morning I get up, I go to the meeting, I grab my food, I check the account, if there's any big expenditures, pay anything out we have to, and then I figure out, okay, we got so and so cases coming up.
Yeah,
we need parts for this, we need this for that unit. I like being able to predict the future, essentially, or predict where the account's going to go, and then spend money based off of what I'm seeing, in the trend. That also encourage, I'm able to have push officers say, pick up suspects, make sure we're staying on top of that, make sure we're don't be lazy, because if you get lazy, that means less car parts show up. It just I like seeing a direct reflection on our performance.
I think maybe something in between could be done. And this is part of a grander discussion, because the percentages of arrests are likely to change anyways, because the marshals are no longer getting a cut, and neither are the DOC. So an alternative to what may transpire here, and I'm trying to talk a little loosely because a lot of this is like unknown unknowns. It may be that it may turn into like some percentage goes to the county, some percentage goes to the police department, some percentage goes to the marshals.
Well, that's fair. I'm not sure why the DOJ needs 75% of it, right? Yeah.
So there's kind of like the two-pronged thing, right? Once again, I want to highlight that you and I don't see this issue because we are working well together, right? So I don't need
a system that's bulletproof, right?
Precisely. But we are seeing where that system has been broken which has been Blaine County, where they have where they've been able to function independent of their mayor, because you could pretty much say, as they have, say, you know, fuck the mayor, we're just gonna go and like do whatever the fuck we want. And what are they gonna do, right? Because we don't need them for money, we don't need them for infrastructure. Worst thing they could do is just switch our boss, which this is, and it's not just that, right? The mayor being the representative of the people over there, is that there's no by having a request system, it has immediate and consistent accountability checks. So as an example, let's say, I don't know, there was like a shit show that particular week, and you know, let's say, a department came over and they're like, oh yeah, you know, we need to like completely change all our engines up. But that very same week, I don't know, something just really bad happened. I don't know, like there's a weapons deal at Humane Labs and no one wanted to go to it. And, you know, there's now a request for more weapons. There would be a real conversation, you know, like, hey, you're requesting $4 million for these things, but all this other stuff happened. So how do I explain this? I like this idea because I think it creates more scenarios in the city and more budget scenarios sitting at a meeting. So instead of it being a automated.
Right, it creates more jobs.
Yes.
I have a question. Is there anything we could do to make it so the DOJ doesn't get 75%? What is the purpose of that? Where does that go? Is that money just go to make sure, like on an operational level, the state's running? Or is there any way to allocate that money elsewhere, or are we just stuck at 75%?
It's currently being discussed.
Okay.
Even half this conversation, I'm glad you're reading between the lines, because you know, this 50%, okay, that 75%, some of it is a black hole money, because understandably, right, justices should not be flooding the economy. Otherwise, they probably get in big trouble. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But it's an arbitrary number, just as when Soza and I spoke and those bank accounts came into y'all's possession, there was intention behind it, and that intention never played out. Right? Instead, man, this is such a tough conversation trying to find words to explain. Instead, it kind of removed accountability instead of increased accountability. Right?
Right.
Because you don't have to speak to why you need the budget in relation to happenings in the city. Am I making sense, or do I have to knock on the wall a little harder?
No, it makes sense.
Okay. All right. So,
yep.
I want you guys to think on this. Like I said, an alternative would be that maybe some of it comes in automated and the rest is kind of budgeted the way that we have been doing, but the percentage is a little bit lower, because let's be real, there's like, you guys probably have like $10 million. Blaine County's got, I think, $6 million. That's a lot of fucking money. You know what I mean?
That goes very quick, though. That is.
It does.
The reason that's up there is because we're being careful with it.
The entire city is also hyperinflated too, right?
That's fair.
So yeah. It's
also to keep in mind.
Yeah,
our accounts are cushioned right now because of the prices of the penal code. So that amount of income is now slashed in half. So keep that in mind. So we've been somewhat careful with our spending, knowing that that's a change. So it's something to keep in mind when looking at those numbers.
That is very true, and that that is actually a really good point. But what if I were to tell you about $3 million, about half that BCSO account disappeared in the last 2 days?
Hope you got receipts.
Well, luckily I don't have to investigate it, but there's a lot of things that are happening. I am hoping it's all rumors, but a lot happened last night.
What are these rumors?
Well, it's not a rumor. It definitely went down by 50%. Allegedly, people were getting called up and being asked, hey, is there any like last minute shit you need? And it was bad enough that it got alerted and is being looked into by, the marshals.
Wait.
Hey, who needs upgrades last second? Yay, sheriff coming around. Yo, better spend that dough, brother.
What?
I mean, I think they're. I mean, I don't know what's actually happening exactly.
I'm just hoping it's not some dumb shit. But
if it's car parts, then it's car parts, right? I mean, that's a massive portion of our expenditures. So,
well, it really depends, right? So if you're like, hey, I'm gonna buy this cop a car, right? Or I'm gonna get someone $500,000 parts because I don't know, Opal's doing a great job and we want it for TRT. Makes sense. However, if there is a regime change and you call up Opal and you're like, yo, Opal, what do you need? Tell me everything you need, and you just sign off. That is now a different problem. Exactly. So, I think there's multiple things of why I'm suggesting this. Is like I said, it brings more interaction between high command and the mayor's office, and I think that's good, right? Just as it's good, I think, for DOJ and the mayor's office to be meeting more regularly about penal code charges, and us relying less on the city's mechanisms doing things for us, right? And now I understand that there can be a fear, right? Like, what if I come around and I'm like, you know what, Turner, I'm not giving you guys anything. I expect you to hold me accountable and literally impeach me. And
right, and as long as the next chief is willing and able to do that, we don't get some sort of mayor like Max again.
I'm not going away that deep. If we ended up getting someone like that, I would spend the next 3 months making sure he was destroyed.
Are you going anywhere? Good. I need to go. I need to race like a piss horse.
Yeah, I'm stepping down.
No. I mean, are you going to be here for a few minutes? Like 5 more minutes? Yeah. Okay. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to be perfect. It's transparently they need it up north more than they need it down here, but maybe a percentage thing might be better based on what you're saying, because I do agree that I think you as chief seeing the number go up based on performance is also a good thing. So
I think it's actually quite big. Because it's not some sort of, it's not a say we're doing a good job, but to say we're getting arrests. Whether those arrests are good or not is another story. But if our account goes stagnant, I could crack out a whip and say, hey, what are we doing here? Why have the last 4 scenes been BCSO processing everyone? Let's step it up. Let's go. It's a way for me to, instead of sitting there reading through every report, finding out who's processing everyone. The account will reflect. If I look at the account today, it's at 6.8 million, and I look tomorrow, it's at 6.9. Something's wrong.
You've convinced me. Let me also go back to the drawing board. Let's think about this. I think you see the perspective I'm coming from.
I do.
And I see yours. And I think the proposed solution is not good enough. I think it's too much of a Band-Aid and just say, put it out of the mayor's office. I think there needs to be something a little bit more thought out.
I think if you had someone who was not as interested in managing the budget and directly using its information, maybe it'd be less, less. It'd be more important to have that system in place, or maybe someone who's obviously going off the rails.
I mean, maybe a middle choice here, because we're talking about expenditure, right? Is maybe the problem's being looked at wrong. Is maybe that certain costs need to be agreed on by the mayor, right? Like, for example, because we want to think it's important to think in extremes, right? Both in terms of what a mayor can do and what a head can do. Is that if it's a certain amount spent, or alternatively, let's say it's interceptors or parts, that there is some sort of receipting, right? That is reviewable by the executive branch, right? The mayor or whatever. So that if there is something out of line, that can spawn a conversation, right? But it also spawns a conversation as well, in that if you're like, you could be like, hey, we got this, and this is why we need extra money for something else.
Are you talking about essentially putting notes when money's transferred?
Yeah. Notes. Yeah.
I mean, that's something where I'm heavily for, and I've been pushing Peters and everyone else to do it, is to have a copy of every invoice. If you're taking money from the account, it needs to be traceable. There needs to be reasons for it. And
I like this. I sort of like that. And maybe that's what it is that there may, because at the end of the day, I am putting a big frame of reference that I have is what's been happening up north, right? And I think maybe that bill may clearly put the accounts under the control of the mayors. And when I say that, I mean ultimate decision making, right? So in the event it needs to be suspended, it can do so, but there is that other check the other way around, is that if a mayor suspends a PD's account, or what I mean by a suspend would be a worst case scenario, right? Makes a fiscal decision, let's call it, that if it is destructive to the police force and in turn the public, that mayor is now open up for impeachment.
I think I see the need for having a system in place to prevent, misuse in the future. I don't know what a good system looks like though right now.
Yeah, how about this? Let's do this. I separately, I know that the accounts, due to the alleged situation over the last 2 days, both all the county accounts, including PD, is foilable. Let's see what it looks like today, and if it can even be broken down, so we know where the expenditure is going, and maybe we can find a way to massage it to be a little bit more readable. I already plan to get a survey team in the city. Princess is ahead of me with the Sinai. We're gonna have her working down here, but I also want a financial person who's already going to be working up Los Santos County's fiscal stuff. I'm going to ask them to do the same with the PDs. So we can, let's say, be presented with slides like, here's where the money's going. And because I want, Turner, I want me and your high. Mm-hmm.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Jimbo just got promoted to sheriff.
Oh, yeah. I did tell you. I told you guys to watch 311s.
Jimbo.
Yeah. Wait, didn't you guys hear me? I said, wait for the 311. You're like, oh, no one knows yet. And I said, yeah, wait for the 311.
Jimbo got sheriff.
Yeah, I think maybe there's a couple other people that. Okay, between us, that's a 1 day thing. And she's using it to see how many people freak out. The real ones tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but don't tell anyone, not even Peters.
Okay. All right. That had me extremely worried there.
Turner, I know who the sheriff is.
And who's that?
Cornwood. No.
Right. We need to start building a wall.
I have an idea who it's going to be. Transparently, I think my personal choice would be Ruby and McNulty. Ruby at the top, McNulty on the sheriff. I think you're going to have a very big loss with if Peters is gone. and as much as I hate Blaine County, I think it would be unfortunately, I think Peters would be, as much as I love LSPD, it would be like splitting what we have and, you know what I mean? Anyways.
No, I think he's a great pick for it, to be honest, though.
Yeah. Hey! How you doing, Peters?
Good, good.
You see the news?
Okay. What?
Jimbo, sheriff.
Oh, Jimbo's the new sheriff?
Yep.
Got a missed call.
Yep.
Wait, is Jimbo the new sheriff?
Wait, there was
So it
no
says on
311.
311.
Wait, is there one? Why don't I see 311?
Yeah, there's a 311.
Wait, am I blind?
Congrats, Jimbo, on being the new sheriff. Sent by Jimbo.
Oh, so dumb. I would not see a 311. Oh my god. I've been doing late nights watching cop shows.
Oh, hey, guys.
I was so confused.
You
Okay,
don't see
yeah, we're
311s?
down at the, we're in
Yeah.
MRPD right now.
Yeah, in the TV show I watched, they like embed like the 311s and 911s into it. It's a very interactive TV
Jimbo's
show.
the new sheriff,
Interesting.
and Gus is the new undersheriff?
Yeah.
Hey, gentlemen.
Hey, Jimbo.
How's it going? You guys doing all right?
Hey, Jimbo,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Howdy.
How's it going? You guys doing good?
Can I just ask you, Jimbo?
Mhm.
When we chatted and I was like, you know what, Jimbo, I want you to be the chief of police.
Mhm.
I thought hockey came before everything else.
Well, it's the off season right now.
God damn it. Understandable.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on your new positions.
So, bad news. It's only for 24 hours.
Oh!
Well, that is
24 hours.
why would you why would you do that?
Why would I do it?
Why would you tell people it's 24 hours?
Well,
Yeah. Why
Just-
would you?
It was
because
Helen.
Princess told people at the meeting.
Oh, gotcha. All right. Well, for the next 24 hours, please kindly get the fuck out of my county. Yeah, like that. Oh my God. No, I like you, Jimbo.
You
You're
know
good.
what?
Things already
We're
feel
all
that
leaving
much
the
better.
county.
All
Let's
right.
get out of here.
You know
We're
what?
starting
Good.
a war again, Gus.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
We are?
No, we're not.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hey, Peach,
Nino?
what's going on?
Yeah.
Always
No,
liked
I'm
you.
not patrolling.
I liked you too.
I'm in a meeting.
You know,
I'm
Tilly
doing
recommended
high-tech
you
stuff.
originally, and then
Really?
yeah, it caused turmoil. Actually, you
Better
don't know
cover
how
it.
much
Sounds
they. Yeah, wait, did
Sorry,
I
gentlemen.
interview you at the observatory?
No.
Oh, that was Peters then. Peters, were you the interview at the observatory?
No, that wasn't. We originally we did it in the office. Yeah, we did it in the office. Then you had me come up, and I did talk to you at the observatory at one point. I think it
Okay,
was
that's
Ben
what it was.
Shiesty. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a lot. There was a lot of talkings, but
Yeah. Well, if you guys need anything for the next 24 hours, let me know. Or call
What's your
Gus.
plans for the
absolutely.
next 24?
Honestly, probably not change much. Because I don't want to have the new sheriff, who's ever was going to be actually elected.
Why?
To come
You
in.
should. You should
Carmine, I'm
fucking-
talking to the chief of police. Can you call me back? Carmine, take my dick out of your mouth. Be quiet. He wants a moment of time.
Well, what
Um,
happened at Cassidy then? Is Cassidy your second undersheriff?
I don't know. He's probably a captain. Haven't really.
I'm
gotten
the
that far
first
yet.
under sheriff.
Good, Gus. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gus is
Yeah,
number
so-
one.
You're the sheriff, and Gus is under sheriff for the next 24 hours.
Mhm.
You have the full powers of
A lot
the
of people in there and
sheriff.
a lot of noises.
And you said you're not going to do much with it.
Well, I don't want to make too many wholesale changes.
Why don't you guys patrol Blaine?
Chiefs and sheriffs.
I'm going to.
Good shit.
And Nino.
I don't know about other people.
He's still married.
That's kind of the whole
Hey,
point of me
people-
being a
people-
BCSO.
People are listening. Do you want to do a fake screaming thing?
Yeah, you want to?
I don't know what is your fucking problem, Jimbo?
I don't have a fuck. I don't have a problem with you. Do you have a fucking problem? With me?
Yeah, I do have a fucking problem.
Dude, if you want us to go fucking only patrol Blake County and not fucking help you
Yeah,
guys,
that's
is
exactly what I want
literally-
you to do.
You got a
This
fucking
Come
problem,
down
bitch?
here, take our fucking food. All right, take out you. What are you
Really?
producing
I'm
up
gonna go to the
north?
fucking counter over there and I'll take all the fucking food
Yeah, like
and I'll
a
feed
alarm
Dallas
clock
if you got a fucking problem.
Yeah,
This
the
is
ol-
literally Bones Cassidy 2.0.
the only thing that y'all have produced is Tilly Winters, and that was on her mom because her mother's from Blaine.
Well, we also produce Gus.
Yeah.
And what even is a Gus? What the fuck is that?
Well, Gus needs a lot of work.
Okay, well,
Yes, very much so.
What?
Gus, we all need to work on stuff.
Like a personality trait.
Talking about
You know-
me?
you know what's crazy?
You know
Y'all
what?
actually come down here and take our jobs.
You know what?
You actually
Fuck you,
come down
Nino.
here and
Fuck
take our
you.
jobs. Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, that's all you got.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
all
but
you
don't you
fucking
come
got.
down here and yell at my mayor like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Get out
know
of
what?
the station
Turn
right
around.
now.
Fuck
Get out of
you.
here.
Do
Get out of the
it.
station
Really?
right
Yeah.
now. You are
Yeah.
welcome,
Don't
dear.
yell at my
You know
show.
Yo, why you're
Fuck you
Step
too,
out.
Turner.
why
You
is
get
your
a problem.
sheriff
Step out
wearing the
right
same?
now.
Why are
Obama,
you wearing
get
the
in here
same
and deal
amount
with
of
this.
stars as
Get out of
your
my
sheriff?
office.
Obama.
I'm not.
You are.
think
You've
that's
got
us.
the same amount of stars as him.
I got 6 on.
Who the
By the
fuck
way,
is
this
that
is
guy
my-
outside?
This is my chief of staff, Marcel King, aka
Gotcha.
Obama.
Gotcha. Okay,
Hey, how y'all doing?
where did these people come from?
This is my
Hey, O'Neill, good to see you.
that's
Hey,
the word. This is
Peters.
my clique.
Oh,
O'Neill's been
my
on
God,
duty, like,
it's
for 3
started
days
already.
and Has got command.
Yeah, this is my clique.
Yeah, we got to
Yeah.
click on.
Jesus fucking.
Yeah,
Wait,
Marcel's
who's
been
this?
promoted to colonel.
Marcel King?
Yes, sir.
You son of a bitch! You left LSPD.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? What do I mean? You were LSPD pursuit.
That was a long time ago, sir.
Yeah, but you know what? I remembered.
I like your tire.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're still doing all right.
He's tired.
I'm holding
Nice
the tire
tire, pussy.
to
Let's
hide
get
my
out of here,
big
boys.
fucking cock. You get the
Let's get
fuck out of here,
this
Jimbo.
fucking department.
Y'all have
Gentlemen.
a blessed day.
All right, Marcel,
Have a
we
blessed
are
day. Have a blessed day.
accepting limited transfers, and honestly, more
really?
solid pursuit guys would be amazing. And you are a good one, straight up.
Oh, solid. I tell you what, this is only between you and me. This is only 24 hours with Jimbo.
Yeah,
Honestly, I may not even wait that long. If shit hits the fan, I always thought I looked better in the black.
Yeah,
and blue
you
anyway,
were
so I'm-
Is that what you
good.
do? You just jump ship though. As soon as things get rocky.
Oh no, sir, not at all like that. See, this
Sounds like
this
you're
isn't
willing
like
to.
a spur of the moment type thing. This has kind of been in the works for a while. I've been talking to Carmine about going to where I feel like I can provide more of my talent, not so much more, because I don't really give a shit about rank or anything like that. Like,
No.
I'm not here for promotion. I don't really give a shit about that. As long as I get to do my job, make sure I take care of my fellow officers out there. That's all that I really care about. And as long as I can provide a little bit of helpful insight while I'm doing that, that's all that really matters. And I mean, just looking at it across the board, BCSO doesn't really need that. Not to say that LSPD does, but I just feel like I would be better suited back in the city. 'Cause I don't know. It's just it's not like just because.
Why do you
of
transfer
this.
in the first place?
Well, I'd just recently come back from a hiatus. I was in the Tibetan mountains. I was trying to really find myself. And I honestly thought that was, getting out of the city and just, trying to start anew, trying to see if that would really refresh or recharge my battery. Being completely honest with you, sir, it did not. It was not the case at all. It kind of made it worse. It kind of felt like I was back in high school. There was like click here, click there. I wanted to talk about certain things. Well, I got to do this and that, even though it felt like I had a lot of hoops to jump through just to get basic shit done. And it felt like, well, I don't really see the point. I shouldn't have to get in somebody's pocket just to be able to do this or to do that, as long as I'm doing my job. So that's really where it comes from. Is I just want to be able to do what I do best. Get out there, kick some ass. Defend my brothers and sisters in the force, and make sure that I'm going home the same way I came in. And if I go home with a little extra battle scars, and so be it. I do this job because I love it, not you know, for the paycheck or because I'm chasing a rank or anything like that. That's never really mattered to me.
I will say that I think if most people came in here and said that, they'd probably be talking out of their ass. But I've actually known myself for many years, and this guy's just solid pursuit guy, and that's like he's zero drama motherfucker. So I think he genuinely means what he just said. So,
Sure.
yeah. Anyways, all right.
Well, we'll keep you in mind.
All right.
It was a pleasure to speak with you all. It was good seeing you again, Mr. Nino. I'm glad you're still doing all right.
Appreciate it. All right.
You guys stay
Take
safe.
care.
Yep.
We got to stick to we got to hold the line here, you know?
Yeah, no, you're right. It's
Either we take many or none.
God, fucking goddamn, that's a good one right there. All right.
I know he sounds like a good one too.
I'll listen. I'll get him executed and have his cousin wake up.
That works.
All right. Man, that actually felt really good with Jimbo in here. I wish there was more of that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, don't get any ideas there, Peter.
I still think it's going to be McNulty. I got a text message from Duncan saying Princess seems to be backpedaling her decisions.
That's what Duncan told you.
Yep.
What's her decisions though?
I don't know. I have no idea what her decisions are.
Okay.
I just need to make a real quick call. Is there anything else we want to chat about?
I think I'm good.
I want to bring up an idea real quick with you.
Sure. Let me just make this call real quick, just because.
You want me to hold it tired? It's probably hard to hold.
No. Oh no, it's good. I got it. I'm holding it to myself.
Okay, all right.
Hey, I want you to get like 300 from last time, 300 for today, multiplied by 6.5. Get it lined up and just ready somewhere, ready to go. You gonna be around for a minute?
Yeah.
All right, and then I'll have a orphan take care of the rest of it, but you're gonna be managing that orphan.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Let me know when it's good. Just give me a call and say, golf is teed up.
Yep. Sounds
All
good.
right. Easy.
Yep. Ciao.
All right.
I kind of want to go look at this budget thing to see who were the Blaine County stuff.
Well, it's getting exported and all that, but yeah, there was a lot of money. I was told about half of it got
half of the money.
Okay, so real quick, I want to use this as a little point that I want to point out there, Peters. Those $1 million transfers with no notes on them, they got to stop.
I put notes on them. You mean no
those
receipts.
are empty. They have no notes.
I swear
There's
to
no
God,
notes
something's going on because every time I type, maybe I'm doing something wrong because
Peters, all mine have notes on it.
I know. It's got to be. I'm saying it's got to be something on my end.
God fucking damn it!
I texted you about this. I told you make sure you have notes on all of them. Make sure you have receipts for everything.
Yes, sir.
If it's touching that account, you have records of it.
Well, if you do become the sheriff, I think you owe us money because where'd the money go? You know what? Fuck it. Listen, you know what, Peters? You do become the sheriff. I do wish you all the best.
I am making it sad. I'm not going. I'm still here. I haven't gone anywhere yet.
You're gonna be pretending to yell at me, and I'm not gonna be able to yell back.
I don't even know.
I'm gonna give you everything you want. You want the city? I'll give it to you. You can
I just want a competent police force that engages this civilian population.
That leads into my next subject I want to bring up with you there, Nino. I was speaking to a gentleman over the weekend. I believe Saturday morning. I came around for a bit. I was getting my food, and he was telling me how he's called 911 multiple times for things and nobody showed up.
I believe it.
I figured, let's put this to the test. I took him for a ride, went around town. We put out 5 911 calls, maybe 6 even, and nobody showed up to any of them. I'm going to put together a unit that responds strictly to 911.
Rapid response team.
Yeah, some sort of rapid response 911 team that responds only to 911 calls, who stays away from bank trucks and bank robberies. You know,
Love it.
uh,
I'll pay them extra money for it too.
okay.
I think I'm gonna go further. They should have vehicles that look. I know you guys are out of, you know. There may be vehicles that exist. Tell me if this is an overcook, but it would be cool if they had their own special livery.
To some extent, yeah. I still want it to be similarly uniform with our you know.
Oh, absolutely.
Livery,
Yeah.
but what do you have in mind?
Well, on a low end, I could imagine like the existing livery saying rapid response, right? So being on that team and fulfilling it, like truly fulfilling that role and not getting it and then fucking off 2 weeks later. It would be nice to have that extra livery. I feel like livery would be very low-hanging fruit, right? Because you would take what exists and you just plaster a little bit more text on it. But if it wanted to be even more overcooked, is I know, for example, the Marshals have some shit that only they got, and I wonder if there could be one or two of those units available, right, in the garage only for them, fully kitted out, right? So I would not even be opposed that if a 911 happens, a rapid response unit would literally have the most kitted out vehicle because it's meant to rapid response. And given the SOP you're talking about, where they're really not meant to be going to the bank and going to, Fleeka, the concern about what's the word I'm looking for? Like having like a fucking high performance vehicle, an extra high performance vehicle out there. The worry is way lower, right? Because,
I mean, they're still going to get into chases. That's going to happen. They're still going to. I still expect them. Some will have to iron out, and as obviously our numbers are up quite a bit. So there's two ways I could look at this. One is they don't respond to, 78s as other officers do. Or two, they still respond to them, right? If we have 50 units on duty, I don't need 5 units who are responding 911 coming to a 78 call or shootout, right?
True.
If we have 15, that's a different story. Maybe some sort of thresholds. Because that's where officers get tied up for hours on end at times, right? And that's where everybody else goes dark. So it's gonna be a balance. There's gonna be some failures, and but overall, I think it'd be a great unit to put together and find some people who are actually interested and motivated to do that kind of work, and not necessarily do the other work. We have different avenues here. So
I'm gonna tell you something I stole from someone. Well, first off, just to put a bow on this last conversation, for this rapid response team, you guys need money. You need sign off on special vehicles, POTS. Consider it blank check, because I love the idea. It's something that's needed. And if whatever that is going to motivate people to actually do it and truly do it, right? And not just to get extra whatever, like I'm going to support it all the way. Because if we can't get to 911s, they're the most important thing. It's civilian calls. I will even go further and say, I know there might be some issues with dispatch. And if you want to embolden dispatch with that even further, let's start paying dispatch like crack money. You know what I mean? Or whatever is needed.
Yeah, having somebody being able to respond to 911s is important too, right? They make a 911 call and we are busy. Having a response on the other side of the line saying, we're tied up, or we're not forgetting about you. We're going to try to get to you as soon as possible, type of thing. That'd be big. So I've already spoken to Peach and tried to ramp up recruitment for dispatch. So
she skipped my interview this morning.
She skipped it?
Yeah.
What interview? The training?
Yeah, I was supposed to train today.
Give her a call. Give her a call.
Yep.
Yeah,
No.
want me to get it down here for you?
Yeah, I'll call her afterwards.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I maybe some sort of signing on bonus that you receive after, maybe it's, I don't know. Let's just throw a number out there, 300,000, 150 after, a month of, or you make it through training, you make full dispatcher, or maybe 150 on signing, 150 after you make full dispatcher. I don't know. Something
I like that a lot. May I also add that as a pilot, and I know there's some technical issues with this, and maybe that's something we could talk to IT about. I don't know if it's like low-hanging fruit. Anytime I get on ATC, it's dead. No one's on ATC. The only person I've ever heard on ATC, and I fly a lot, you've probably seen my 311s, is Snow. King. Yeah, even when it's snowing, King will be on
problem
ATC.
is you have to sit there and stare at that monitor to hear it.
And that's why I think they should have a remote access. But it's dispatch only and only in the building.
The station.
Yeah, because otherwise that would be real bad.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree. I think that would help a lot. I think ATC is very important. I think it plays a role, and if you're dispatch, you should be fulfilling that role as well.
Mm-hmm. The other thing I wanted to point out here, and this is take this as very much a grain of salt. I'm not saying we do this, whatever, but it's more of the paradigm, is that, I read this book by, a war hero, chief of multiple departments, and he had mentioned something about a project he was working on in which select officers were a part of, were selected to be the primary units that respond to 78 calls. What does that mean? What that means is that if a 78's kicked off, the only ones that would be alerted would be those individuals, unless there wasn't enough of those individuals around. And the reason that system existed, from my understanding, was for situations where you have 50 cops getting tied up for a tremendous amount of time. And it's an idea that might be worth, chewing on.
I've taken the mindset and had some I guess you could say directive on it that we should be just managing better. And that
really
could be along the lines of managing. Yeah.
So am I understanding correctly that if a officer were shot in Mount Chiliad for a bank truck, you may not necessarily send 50 units to it?
No, I'm saying we probably should if we have 50 around.
What did you mean by the managing thing then? Sorry.
More so, I guess, for continue to, get more officers on duty, but be more on top of management for, I guess you could say death related.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying
right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
So it's if people want to there's a term, it's stay and play, or if people want to stay and play, then they're gonna be dealing with full force of the law, right?
Yeah, back in the day, hypothetically, if I ever rob banks, there used to be a mood is you get away, and sometimes part of the risk was one of your boys goes away, but at least not all of you. The save your boy syndrome goes hard nowadays. So
very hard.
Yeah. Anyways, I wouldn't know what it means to do crime.
There's
been too long.
I mean, we all had our younger days, right?
Yeah. I used to run red lights. It was fucking crazy. Used to give me a fucking adrenaline rush.
Absolute menace.
All right. Well, wrap Rapid response, super down for this.
I'll figure out a name, but yeah, we'll do
Okay.
something like that. We'll put it together. I think that's going to be my goal this term here.
Okay. And in regards to the accounts, I'm going to re-engage it. Keep in mind, this is like sort of a joint conversation with me and Princess. But given where we discussed here, I'm definitely in agreement that just the county taking the money has a lot of negative factors that we did not consider. So,
well, if you end up having that conversation again, let me know if you're interested in me coming down.
Yeah,
Be more than willing to.
I think that's a great idea. All right, easy. All right.
Okay. All right, Nino. See you later.
You take
Thank
care.
you, Nino. You take care.
What do you? How long are you around for?
Turner is so good because I'm able to workshop with him.
Hi, Nino.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing very good. Oh, Yui.
Wait, what?
Sorry, I was trying to guess who this was.
Oh, yeah, this is Yui. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. I thought this was Yui. And then I'm like, oh shit.
Maybe it's not.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
right.
no, what's up? How
I
you
was
been?
like, fuck.
Busy?
Yeah. Oh, always.